In with Parker Thune and Grayson Singleton.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up.
Whether you're a recruiting doomer or sunshine pumper, text the guys on the First Liberty Bank text line at 405-651-3439. And call your shot on the Riverwind Casino jackpot line at 405-329-9000.
Do it! Just do it!
Now, with Locked In, here's Parker Thune and Grayson Singleton.
Oh, yeah, the boys are back together again. What did I miss, Grayson?
Do we want to go through this?
I've been gone for 2 days.
You
Fill
have
me
been
in.
gone for 2 days. All right, what did you miss? Josh and I talked about preferred quarterback play types, talking about the differences between Trey Tagliaferri and Brady Quinn.
Understandable. Okay.
We did that. Had a little Love Island talk. Had a little Sexy Red talk up in there. We talked about he and I fixed college football yesterday on this show. After Pete Vivacqua said that the best way to maximize media rights is to pool the media rights, which would mean you would have to have a super league to do that. So we talked through that. And I want to say that's pretty much the bulk of what you missed.
Good grief. I'm glad.
Offensive line, too.
I'm glad you guys fixed college football yesterday, because when I heard that the show had been dwelling on such topics as Love Island and Sexy Red over the last 2 days, I was worried.
Dwelling is a little bit of an overstate. Slightly hyperbolic.
As long as you guys solved all of college football's lingering issues, then we're good. We're cool.
We solved a way to get everybody pulling in the same direction, because Lord knows there are 8 million people pulling in 8 million different directions.
Got you. Well, as we launch into our Thursday show, it's going to be a lot of recruiting talk, as it typically is during this hour, folks, because we got a lot to catch up on. The reason I haven't done this show the last 2 days, the reason I won't be around to do this show tomorrow, is because OU is holding camps all week. We have 4 camps this year: Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday of this week, and Tuesday of next week. And tomorrow's supposed to be the big day, Grayson. Tomorrow is where Oklahoma has such guys as 5-star defensive lineman Kellen Hall, 4-star edge rusher Keone Snipes, a couple of quarterback offers in Trey Wright and Gavin Strang, a couple players from out west that are underclassmen, 29, 2030 guys that are studs, probably going to walk away with an offer. There's going to be a lot going on at camp tomorrow, and I'm told Oklahoma's expecting somewhere in the neighborhood of 300 kids total at tomorrow's camp. So Friday is the big day. Tuesday and Wednesday, all told, they've been somewhat anticlimactic, not quite as jam-packed in terms of the level of action. But, camp season is always fun. Always fun because, I think camp season is really, really good if you're trying to develop a trained eye for scouting and evaluation, because, man, you may have a defensive back group in which you have a 13-year-old band kid taking reps immediately after a 4-star blue chip national recruit. It's a completely mixed bag.
Sure.
At camp.
Sure.
But Oklahoma did extend a few offers over the last couple of days. Most notably expanded the wide receiver board quite a bit in the 2028 class. Tossed a couple 2029 offers out, including one to Wyatt Cordray, who's right down the road at Carl Albert.
Mm-hmm.
Offered him to play tight end. He's a 2029 cat. Picked up his first P4 offer from Arizona State a couple weeks ago, and Oklahoma jumped on that one early. That's a kid who's 6'4", 205 already. Multi-sport background. Awesome overall athletic profile. But, man, I will say this. What camp also offers is an opportunity to spend an entire day watching the Masters at work. And when you have first-year coaches on staff, that's really your best experience to date. We're just kind of getting a sense of who they are as coaches, how they communicate with players. Because, similarly, just like we were talking about, when these coaches are operating, when they're running camps, they got to somehow find a way to get through to the 13-year-old band kid and the blue chip recruit that
Yep.
are taking reps
So
right
wait,
alongside one another.
So hang on, let me stop you there because
Yeah.
you keep mentioning the 13-year-old band kid. These camps aren't exclusive in any way?
No, they are not.
Oh,
No.
okay.
They're open registration, and if you want to pay the entrance fee, you can come work out with the Oklahoma football coaches.
Okay, fair enough.
And hey, you know what? More power to you, even if you don't wind up touching a college football field or a high school football field for that matter. Get you a Brent Venables football camp t-shirt, a photo op, and an enduring childhood memory.
And I'll tell you this, too. Those camps serve a lot in terms of determining the trajectory of somebody's life because there's a lot of people at those camps that realize, oh, shoot, I can't be a football player at the collegiate level. That's what happened to me.
Really?
No, I camped at Abilene Christian my junior year of high school, and that's what I realized. No, I could maybe be a low-level Division I player max, but there's a ceiling on this.
That was the reality check. huh?
That was, yeah.
Hey, Abilene Christian's low-level D1. I mean, they're FCS, right? Kind of
Well-
a not-so-great FCS program.
Well, remember I was a basketball player, so there's no FCS.
Oh, we were talking
yeah,
basketball.
yeah, for
not
that,
football.
for
Okay,
that.
Tracking, tracking.
But I mean, same thing applies.
Yeah. A 405 listener wanted to know, will Nash Henry be there tomorrow? I don't know for a fact that he will. I'll have to get an answer on that. But Oklahoma, like I said, will have two of their recently offered 2028 quarterbacks on campus tomorrow in Trey Wright and Gavin Strang working out. And today, as a matter of fact, they have another 2028 quarterback on campus. I know you guys talked about Trey Taliaferri. You talked about Brady Quinn.
Mm-hmm.
Graham Simpson is the other one, and he's the guy that's had the offer from Oklahoma for the longest. He's making his first trip to Oklahoma today.
I like
So,
Graham Simpson, too.
there's a lot to like about Graham Simpson. How about this, man? Freshman year of high school out there in the state of Tennessee, his touchdown to interception ratio was 57-1. 57 touchdowns, 1 interception. Yeah, no wonder Ben Arbuckle pulled the trigger on that kid as early as he did.
Yeah.
We'll see how it shakes out, man. You ask me who I think Oklahoma's quarterback in the 2028 class is going to be? I'm going Brady Quinn right now. If you made me guess who winds up being the guy, I would say Quinn. But the benefit of getting all 5 of your quarterback targets on campus within the span of 2 weeks is going to figure out pretty quickly which direction you feel compelled to go. And maybe that changes and maybe it doesn't, but you can put a red eye on one guy that kind of sits atop the hierarchy.
And it's interesting because, at least with the intel that you and the Sooner Scoop team have been disseminating to us, is that Oklahoma can end up being in a good spot with like 3 of these dudes.
Yeah, they very well could.
Yeah.
They could have their choice. It couldn't just be, oh, this one guy wants to commit to Oklahoma and none of the other ones do, so I guess it's him. No, like we could very well be living in a world where Oklahoma legitimately has their choice between several of these guys.
Here we go. Sean on the YouTube chat says no on Quinn. Sean, tell us why.
Yeah, let us know, Sean.
Tell us why you're a no on Brady Quinn.
I mean, everybody has an opinion. You're entitled to it. We can talk through it. That's why this show exists. And obviously there's a great deal of subjectivity that comes with evaluating talent and just the realm of recruiting in a broad sense. But I will say this. I think within the building right now, within the Switzer Center, the sense I get is that Brady Quinn is kind of the consensus number 1 guy right now. Now, that is purely based off tape. Purely based off tape. And I had a couple folks tell me at camp yesterday that they believe Trey Taliaferri, and I would agree with this assessment, he has the best arm talent of anybody that they scouted in the 2028 class. Not just the guys that they offered, but guys that they scouted. They think he has the best arm talent of anybody.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Now, the question mark, of course, with a guy like Taliaferri is there is nothing on his tape that gives you any indication of what type of athlete he is.
Exactly.
He rushed for 8 yards last year.
Which is what Josh and I talked about the other day.
Yeah, so, I mean, he operates in a system where he doesn't get asked to move around a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't get asked to tuck in and run a lot. He's mostly operating in the pocket. But I think the reason that maybe there's a slight preference for Brady Quinn going into this 2-week evaluation period, if you will, with all of these quarterback offers is that Brady Quinn is a guy that when you watch him, you conclude, okay, he fits the system. Like
yes.
the things that this guy does well, lend themselves to Ben Arbuckle's scheme and his priorities as an offensive mind.
And I'll even say this to take that a step further. I think he more fits the mold of an Oklahoma quarterback, too, because if you look at Oklahoma's QBs ever since the Sam Bradford, Landry Jones years, you have Baker, you have Kyler, you have Jackson Arnold, Michael Hawkins, and John Mateer. What do all of them have in common? They all have a knack for being unpredictable and a lot of high ceiling and some pretty low lows with a lot of those guys. So that are possible. There's a lot of variance in what you can get, but the athletic upside seems to be what has become a mainstay with Oklahoma's quarterbacks. So if you just want to say from a culture fit, Brady Quinn fits better than Tagliaferri, then I think that would be along the same lines too.
And I will say, like, part of the reason Oklahoma wants to get all these guys on campus, too, is because it's not just about what's on tape. And I hope that goes without saying, but I understand, like, that we're going to have to lay this out comprehensively for some folks. I know there are plenty that have been acquainted with the recruiting game for long enough that they know all of the factors involved with recruiting quarterbacks, but for those that maybe are somewhat new to it or not as acquainted with everything that needs to be evaluated when you're going through the recruiting process, especially the recruitment of quarterbacks, man, you got to find a guy that not just meshes with what you want to do on the field, but that has the right leadership qualities off the field, in the locker room, good alignment within the family circle and within his camp, as it were. Solid representation, a sense that, okay, we're not going to be taken aback by anything throughout the negotiation process if we choose to get serious with this kid and work to get a deal done to get him here to the University of Oklahoma. So they want to get all these guys on campus so that they can get to know them better as people, get to know their families, get to know what drives them, get them familiar with the Oklahoma football experience, not just the brand, not just the reputation, not just the history, but the actual experience of being in Norman, Oklahoma. So they're being very intentional. And if this all feels like it's still moving pretty fast, I mean, that's because it is. But to take the example of a guy like Tagliaferri, who was in town Monday, I think there's a very real chance Oklahoma could have Trey Tagliaferri if they wanted him. If, in the end, Oklahoma trips all 5 of these quarterbacks and they go through their process and they have their meetings and they decide, okay, the number one guy for us is Trey Tagliaferri, I don't think it will take long for them to be able to lock him down. That visit went very well. But there's no guarantee right now that, for instance, let's say for the sake of the hypothetical, Brady Quinn is number one right now for the OU staff. There's no guarantee he'll be number one 2 weeks from now. And all these visits are concluded. I mean, maybe Trey Wright shows up tomorrow and just blows the doors off during camp. And maybe he's all about it. Maybe he just feels like a perfect culture fit for the staff. And they're like, all right, this is our guy. This could play out a number of different ways.
Sure.
And this is what makes recruiting fun, man. The element of the unknown.
This is a fun part of recruiting. By the way, Sean got back with us on why he would not want Brady Quinn as the quarterback in 2028. He says because he's too frantic, gets out of the pocket too fast. Yes, he makes plays happen because of his mobility, but it will lead to turnovers. Roberts will be the guy for the next 3 years, talking about Jamison Roberts. Okay, this is interesting. Now, on the tape, I didn't see a lot of getting out too fast when I watched the tape, but here's what I will say is on that Brady Quinn tape that might be a negative. There are too many "this only works in high school" plays on Brady Quinn's tape that you don't see in Tagliaferri's tape, and by the way, you don't see in Graham Simpson's tape either. I think Graham Simpson, by the way, you were talking about the arm talent. I think Graham Simpson has the best deep ball of all these guys.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
I mean, Graham Simpson, if you're talking about probably the most can't miss of the 5, like the guy that you watch and you conclude, okay, like this is going to work at Oklahoma. He's going to play there. This is going to translate to the collegiate level. I think the safest bet is probably Graham Simpson.
Yes.
And the stats bear that out. I mean, his career completion rate over his 2 seasons at Westview High.
Isn't it like 76 or something like that?
76%, brother.
Sheesh.
That dude is incredibly accurate, incredibly efficient, and just incredibly intelligent in the way that he plays the position.
Well, his dad is a coach, right?
And
That's a football
that
family.
would be why. Yeah. Dad's a head coach, by the way, at the University of Tennessee Martin.
Right.
So he's Ty Simpson's younger brother, for those that haven't made that connection. Obviously, Ty went to Alabama. Graham has an Alabama offer, but there's not necessarily a sense that just because Ty went to Alabama, that's what Graham's going to do too. So Oklahoma gets to take their shot with him. And, man, you can look at all 5 of these signal callers and find something that you really, really like. I don't know that, regardless of who the guy ends up being, anybody is going to be able to look at Oklahoma's take and go, aw, shucks, this really sucks. Maybe you prefer one guy to another, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But when you watch the tape on all 5 of these quarterbacks, I think it's very immediately apparent why all 5 have an offer from the University of Oklahoma and are of significant interest to the staff and to the front office. Your questions are pouring in on the First Liberty Bank text line, 405-651-3439. We will hit a bunch of them on the other side. You got them, I'll answer them. By the way, a couple new offensive line offers in the 2027 class went out after Tuesday's camp.
Mm-hmm.
We'll discuss that. The show today brought to you by Dorsey Jones GMC, family owned and operated. If you're in the market for a new set of wheels, check out Dorsey Jones, because GMC offers some of the most reliable trucks and SUVs on the road today, and you're not going to have to put up with any nonsense when you do business with the experienced folks out at Dorsey Jones, many of whom have been with the company for 20-plus years. Again, 405-651-3439. That is the First Liberty Bank text line. We're going to hit a quick break. Come on back with us here on Locked In.
Locked In is brought to you every day by Dorsey Jones GMC in El Reno. Dorsey Jones GMC is family-owned and operated with a knowledgeable, low-pressure sales staff here to help you through the buying process and half-price oil changes on Saturdays. Visit dorsey-jonesgmc.com for more information. The Ref is once again your home for chaos. Every game-changing hit.
Long fly ball to left. Track. Wall. Gone.
Every strikeout.
Got him. Swing it.
Every defensive gem.
He caught it. He caught it.
Every game. All year.
And you can unhitch the wagon.
The Ref has you covered.
Catch the Sooners in Super Regional action versus Kansas this Saturday and Sunday at 5 right here on the Ref and worldwide on the KREF app.
They don't want to hire you because your paper might say Oklahoma School for the Blind.
I was just completely homebound because I was always too afraid to go outside. I want to be a productive member of society, and that's what DRS has given me.
They offer you opportunities to getting a job, helping you learn how to advocate for yourself, find the best way to try living your life in the fullest way possible.
Oklahoma and DRS has been the biggest blessing in my life.
See me.
And not my disability.
Do you like to stand out in a crowd while wearing the best in OU apparel? The Jimmy Austin Pro Shop carries the best brands you can wear to work or even dress up events. Lines such as Lululemon, Travis Matthew, FootJoy, Greg Norman, Grayson, or Turtleson with the OU and Jimmy Austin logo are sure to catch everyone's eye. You don't have to be a golfer to shop at Jimmy Austin. They also do corporate special orders for you and your company. Call them today, 405-325-6716, or visit theougolfclub.com for more information.
No one plans for an injury, but when the worst happens, count on the best orthopedic team to turn your setbacks into comebacks. Ortho Central's comprehensive care has you covered, from expert orthopedic surgery and sports medicine to in-house imaging, physical therapy, and even a bone health clinic. So whether it's a fracture, a tear, or just life catching up with you, we're here to get you moving again. Ortho Central, it's in our bones to take care of yours. Learn more at orthocentralok.com.
For 3 generations, the John M. Ireland and Son Funeral Home and Chapel in Morris continued to serve the community by giving back to local schools, charitable organizations, and first responders.
We provide pre-planning for funerals and cremation services at the most reasonable prices.
We are proud to be a family-owned and operated funeral home.
Award-winning funeral home year after year, our family believes in serving the people of our community.
I'm John Ireland.
And I'm Solon Daniels.
You've got our word on it.
Are you worried about what might be lurking in your walls? Hi, this is Reese with Cavens Group, experts in mold and asbestos detection. For a limited time, get our comprehensive inspection and rest easy knowing your family's safety comes first. Our certified professionals use state-of-the-art technology to uncover hidden dangers and give you peace of mind. Don't wait for problems to get worse. Call Cavens Group today or visit cavensgroup.com and breathe easier tomorrow. Cavens Group, you don't need us until you need us.
Pub W in Norman isn't your average pub. Think crispy fried deviled eggs, bold burgers, and local beers on tap. All in a chill space, perfect for watching the game or grabbing dinner with friends.
Located off of 24th Avenue, Pub W brings comfort food elevated. Pub W, your neighborhood pub. Tune in every Friday to hear more about the House Smith Restaurant Group during the Rush and the Dari Noka Show here on The Ref.
Hi, I'm Troy Green. I grew up in foster care, homeless and forgotten. I know what it means to struggle just to survive. I wasn't born into power. I fought my way through it. I became a police officer, a coach, and a small business owner, and spent my life protecting families, helping kids, and standing up for working people. Washington already works for the powerful. I'm running for the people they overlook. So I'm asking for your vote June 16th. I'm Troy Green, and I approve this message because it's time to bring integrity and accountability back to Washington and respect and dignity back to Oklahoma.
Back with you here on Locked In. Parker Thune, Grayson Singleton in the Buffalo Wild Wings studios. An off day today between OU football elite camps. Had one Tuesday, had one Wednesday. We'll have the big one tomorrow. And then one final camp next Tuesday as well for Brent Venables and the OU staff. Amidst all of it, the Sooners are getting ready to host a second crop of official visitors coming up next weekend. So once they're clear of camps, preparations will immediately begin in earnest once again to host a bunch more official visitors, most of whom are committed this time around. Less uncommitted guys on OV weekend number 2 than there were on OV weekend number 1. But a lot of bowling pins in the air right now for the Oklahoma staff as far as recruiting is concerned. On the First Liberty Bank text line, 405-651-3439, one of our listeners from Green Country up in the 918 asked, has Ben Kolar shut down his visits, or is he still taking the OU official? Today is June 4th, Thursday, June 4th. Today would have been the day that Ben Kolar and TJ Lewis were on campus. I think today would have been the day, actually, that they wrapped up their visits.
I was going to say,
they
I
would
thought
have
that was
gotten
a
to campus
Wednesday.
yesterday, would have wrapped up their official visits today, their midweek OVs to Oklahoma. Neither of those visits happened. Neither of those visits will happen. So, as I'm sure was discussed either Tuesday or Wednesday on the show while I was out, Keldred Ben has shut down his recruitment for good. And I know the immediate rejoinder to that is going to be, well, hasn't he done that before? In a sense, I guess, but
not this definitively.
And not since Dylan McCullough joined the staff. The previous, my recruitment is shut down type of stuff that came from Keldred Ben that ultimately was more bark than bite, that was while DeMarco Murray was still the running backs coach at Oklahoma. And after the Sooners got Jacoby Dixon committed over the weekend, whom they love, by the way. As I understand it, Dylan McCullough essentially got on the horn with Keldred Ben and was like, all right, listen, you're in or you're out right now. And Keldred Ben, I think, is a smart enough individual to understand he's got a good thing going for him at the University of Oklahoma, and it's not worth a vacation up to Eugene this weekend to run the risk of not being in the class. Mm-hmm. And so he did take that official visit to Florida last weekend, but after that visit to Florida, he had the conversation with McCullough and the OU staff, and he shut it down for good. He is not going to take that Oregon official. He is not going to take any other visits to any other schools besides Oklahoma from here on out. He is fully locked in. That recruitment is done, and your two running backs in the class are Ben and Dixon. And so, with that in mind, earlier this week, Oklahoma had to get on the phone with TJ Lewis and say, hey, thanks, but no thanks. We can't have you. So, he didn't take the official visit. Neither did Ben Kolar, and the Sooners had a good parting conversation, if you will, with Kolar, and I think you understand why the kid made the decision that he did. I mean, he's going to get a Stanford education, and
Yeah.
He's going to get probably more of a chance to be the guy out there at that position than he would have at Oklahoma coming in alongside Seneca Driver, the number 1 tight end prospect in America in the 2027 class. But Oklahoma's just kind of content at this point with how things ended with Ben Kolar. I don't believe that they will work to flip him in the long run. I think their viewpoint on it is, hey, you know what? You want to go to Stanford? That's fine. We will find guys that want to be here. No hard feelings, but if you don't want to be a Sooner, we will find somebody who does. And so they're going to move forward with Driver as their lone tight end commit in the 2027 class. Will they recruit another one? Maybe, but maybe not. We'll see how this unfolds. I know as of right now, Oklahoma isn't in a hurry to try and find a backup plan for Ben Kolar as the second tight end in the class. So that may be a conversation that sparks up again in the fall. But as of now, Oklahoma's not looking to immediately pivot after missing out on Ben Kolar. That said, though, no, not only is he not taking the OU OV, he's not taking any of his remaining OVs. He's committed to Stanford. He's going to sign with Stanford, barring something completely unforeseen. Santa John asked, isn't there a tight end recruit up in the 918? Yeah, there is, and a kid I really like in Braxton Daniel, but Oklahoma's not making a move there. General Booty's lieutenant asks, hey, Parker, wasn't a QB from Altus discussed at some point? Is he still on OU's radar? He is, but he is no longer in Altus. You're referring to Jamin Reed, who started as a freshman this past fall at Altus. His father, Jeremy, was the head coach up at Altus, took a job in December, I believe, as the new offensive coordinator up at Muskogee.
Oh, okay.
And was there for about 3 months before he accepted the head coaching job at Jones. And so he's now at Jones. Jamin is at Jones, and he's going to be their starting quarterback this fall. He's a really good player and a really impressive overall athlete. He is somebody that could play multiple positions at the collegiate level. It does not have to be quarterback, but Oklahoma is intrigued by him as a quarterback. They went and visited him during the spring contact period, and they haven't offered him yet. To this point, the only 29 quarterback offer would be that Logan Lucero kid out of Parish Episcopal down in Texas. But yeah, Jamin Reed, certainly a name to file away as far as in-state recruits go in the 2029 class. He's a good ball player.
By the way, going back to the tight end conversation,
yeah,
here's what you have if you're Oklahoma. You've got a sophomore in Jack Van Dorselaer, who's got a couple of years of eligibility left. Tyler Ruxer and Ryder Mix are just now true freshmen. And you've still got a redshirt freshman in Trinae Washington, who you'd really like. And then we'll see what happens with Caden McIntyre going forward. Sure.
Yeah.
You could probably get away with taking just one.
And the portal's always there.
And there you go. The
portal's
always available.
And
at least for now.
I mean, let's say you got a guy with 1 year left in the transfer portal. He's trying to give himself a shot at the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to find a lot of those types of guys who are inclined to come play football for Jason Witten at Oklahoma. The Jason Witten hire was a banger for many reasons, but one of the major ones is it just makes talent acquisition a whole heck of a lot easier. When you can point to your tight ends coach and say, hey, that guy played 17 years in the National Football League and is going to be a Hall of Famer. You can learn a thing or two from him. 405-651-3439. That is the First Liberty Bank text line. As I mentioned going into the last break, Grayson, there were multiple offensive line offers that went out in the 2027 class after Tuesday's camp. So, get to know these names, if you have not already. Jackson Lawler.
We talked about him yesterday.
3-star interior offensive lineman from Amarillo, Texas. And Amaziah Ciale, 3-star offensive tackle, originally from Hawaii, plays his high school ball in Mission Viejo, California. And he is committed to Cal. There's a third name, one that hasn't announced an offer from Oklahoma, but did camp Tuesday, camped pretty well, like was a strong overall performer, and is a guy that I really, really like on tape, man. He's got some G5 offers. He's a G5 guy right now, but I think back a cycle, I think back to November of last year when Oklahoma made a run at Noah Abibi. If you remember that name, Friendswood, Texas. He wound up signing with Houston. Oklahoma lost the battle for him. But to me, Devin Gertman out of the Colony, Texas, is somebody that Oklahoma kind of can earmark. Much like a BB, let's put a pin in this. Let's watch his senior tape this fall after those first 4 games are up. And let's see if he's made the type of progress that leads us to believe he can be a developmental take in our offensive line class, which is going to be a huge class, Grayson. I think this is the lesson that is continually being reinforced.
Yes.
Here is that the reality is Oklahoma's got 5 committed. They ain't anywhere near done.
Nope.
They OV'd Corey Laga over the weekend. I don't think they're going to wind up with Brian Swanson, but clearly it's not take Corey Laga, call it good. Because even if they get Laga, they're still going to be hunting for a 7th, potentially an 8th. This could be the biggest offensive line class that Oklahoma's ever signed out of high school.
Okay. So it raised an eyebrow when we started talking about 7. What would be the rationale with taking 8? That seems like a lot.
It is a lot. There's no question. Like, objectively, that is a lot. I don't know how many P4 schools have ever signed.
I was just about to say, I don't think I've ever seen that anywhere before.
I don't think I have either. But the times they are a-changin', as the great Bob Dylan sang. And we have discussed on this show the reality that finding portal offensive linemen is really expensive.
Sure.
If you want to get anybody half decent, you're going to pay a lot of money. And so, if you can take a bunch of guys out of the high school ranks at a more affordable price point on average, and you can take a class that's full of guys that you envision all developing on different timelines, i.e., like Caden Penny is going to be a year 1 guy. Caden Penny is going to be somebody that walks in day 1 as a true freshman and is immediately in contention for a starting role. That is a bad dude.
Mm-hmm.
But Isaac Coffrin, for instance, a guy like Jackson Lawler, a guy like Devin Gertman, where he'll wind up in the class, those dudes are dudes that are going to need a year or 2 or maybe 3. Remember Daniel McMorris last year?
Uh-huh.
I mean, the whole reason that Oklahoma engaged with Daniel McMorris down the stretch, and Abibi and Jonas Muya, the kid from Indiana, as well. They didn't get any of those 3 guys, but the reason they engaged with those guys specifically is because they looked at those dudes as dudes that they could stash for a year or 2 and develop. And by the time they're ready to play, maybe Cooper Hackett, Caden Penny, Tyson Ross even. Like, I think Tyson Ross has early impact potential. Those 3 guys might be close to on their way out by the time you have an Isaac Coffrin ready to roll.
Sure.
For instance.
Yeah.
So it's about finding guys that all complement each other in a variety of ways very cleanly. And so that's why I think it makes sense for Oklahoma to at least keep some options on the table if you want to get really, really crazy with the size of your offensive line class. Gertman's tape is really impressive to me. Like, between him, Jackson Lawler, and Amaziah Ciale, I think I like Gertman the best. I think Lawler is the most likely to wind up in Oklahoma's class because he's got family ties to the school, grew up going to games.
Mm-hmm.
Ciale is somebody that, I mean, they offered. I don't really see much of anything materializing here.
You think he's just going to stick with Cal?
For now, yes. And I also know he's committed to Cal, so this is weird to say. This is weird to kind of process, but there are some academic hurdles that would have to get cleared there if he were going to land at Oklahoma.
Yet he's committed to Cal
I know. Kind of an odd deal.
That seems a little upside down, but all right.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Lawler and Gertman, I think, are the 2 that are really worth focusing on out of that group of 3 that all camped at Oklahoma on Tuesday and were duly impressive.
We have a super chat.
Come on.
Sean, back with us today. Question. Does it seem like we are starting to build a good pipeline with Desert Edge High School up in Arizona? And I know it's early, but do you guys think we have a good shot with Jelani George and Kellen Hall?
So, well, speak of the devil. Kellen Hall is arriving in Norman today.
Mm-hmm.
Kellen Hall, maybe right this second, is on a plane to Norman, Oklahoma. His travel itinerary is taking him to the great state of Oklahoma sometime today. That's all I know. But he's camping tomorrow. He is he is the headliner at camp tomorrow. And it's going to be an outstanding camp. And right now, Oklahoma's the front runner for Kellen Hall. A player of his caliber, this far out from putting pen to paper, signing the dotted line, like there's obviously plenty of time for that to change. But Oklahoma has set the pace in that recruitment. And so, yes, there's a very strong chance there that they wind up with Kellen Hall, and Oklahoma is willing to fork over big money to make that happen. I mean, he is one of those guys, and it's probably the decision you would make, too, if you were in Jim Nagy's shoes when you watch Kellen Hall's tape. Whatever he wants, within reason, you'll make it work to get that kid. Jelani George, we'll see. He still hasn't visited campus. They still got to get a feel for who he is, what he's about, if he's truly a fit. But Oklahoma will have a presence moving forward at Desert Edge. They have Michael Davis committed already. I expect that they'll get another Desert Edge kid or two over the next couple of cycles. Nakai Lambeth, another corner that I think Oklahoma's in really, really good shape with early.
I mean, they were in the Zarek Sidney recruitment for a while.
That they were, and they love, I want to talk about a kid that they love in the 2028 class, Jalen Easterling Flores. The safety down there at Desert Edge.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they are big on Jalen Easterling Flores. Which, by the way, and it might have surprised people a little bit when Oklahoma extended multiple new 2027 offensive line offers on Tuesday. Might have been a little bit eye-opening, but especially when they offered Jackson Lawler, a guy that, I mean, let's call it like it is. If you read the interview that I did with him on Soonerscoop.com, looked into some of the details that I shared about just kind of the backstory between him and Oklahoma, if there winds up being a spot for him at OU, it's a very safe bet he winds up in the class.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought this was interesting because I wasn't really all that familiar with Lawler when he showed up. Let me take you back a month or so to when Gus Corsair committed to Oregon. A guy that was a long-time Oklahoma lean and that they wanted very badly in the 27 class. The guy that they wanted to be their center. Gus Corsair and Oklahoma kind of started trending in separate directions after Oklahoma locked in that fifth offensive line commit, Isaac Coffrin. Too many cooks in the kitchen at that point for Gus Corsair's taste, and he wound up committing to Oregon. Now, the folks in the building at Oklahoma are intellectually honest enough that they're not going to say, oh, that kid's going somewhere else. Well, he sucks. We never wanted him anyway. Like, they will still acknowledge Gus Corsair is an awesome player. We really wish we had him in our class.
Yeah.
They thought very highly of him. But get this. When Jackson Lawler showed up to camp on Tuesday, all of his testing numbers were markedly better than those of Gus Corsair.
Okay.
And that was a real eye-opener.
Okay, so this is interesting. So how come Gus Corsair is a blue chipper and Lawler's a 3-star?
Well, because it's not all about the testing numbers, obviously.
But testing numbers do a lot, though.
They do. They do. And that's part of the reason why Oklahoma has not been afraid ever since Jim Nagy got to town to pursue 3 stars that maybe don't have spectacular offer sheets outside of Oklahoma. Like, they're big into the testing thing and athletic upside and developmental potential. And so when that was the case for Lawler on Tuesday, and then he went and had very strong reps in one-on-ones, it was kind of an easy decision to add that guy to the board. I think it's kind of going to be a wait-and-see approach with Lawler, with Gertman, and with Ciale, because the priority right now is getting Corey Laga committed. Oklahoma very much wants to add Corey Laga first and foremost. Thereafter, I think come August, September, October, and generally after fall camp, you're going to start to get a pretty solid idea of who's maybe got an eye on the transfer portal once the season ends. And so I think once Oklahoma gets a more crystal clear picture of what their actual needs numbers-wise are going to be on the offensive line next season, then you start to have real intentional conversations about maybe taking a 7th, maybe taking an 8th, and we'll see where things land at that point. But I'm not expecting anything to materialize with Jackson Lawler, with Amaziah Ciale, or with Devin Gertman in the here and now, in the immediate future. I think this is a conversation that probably gets tabled until the season rolls around. 405-651-3439. That is the First Liberty Bank text line. As Colin Claremore points out, imagine being 13-year-old band kid and trying to block Kellen Hall and the Snipes kid. Yeah. If you're that kid, tomorrow's probably not the day to show up.
No.
Putting that out there.
But guess what? It's a day where you figure out you probably need a plan B.
Hey, you know what? There are lessons everywhere for those with eyes to see and minds to comprehend. We'll hit a quick break and come right back. You're on Locked In. This is The Ref, the home of Sooner fans.
The Ref Radio Sports Network is powered statewide by the insurance adjusters at Brown O'Haver. Fire, wind, theft, or tornado, we can help. Call 405-735-5510.
Buffalo Wild Wings is bringing the heat this summer with the return of the Cornhole Tournaments. The second Cornhole Tournament of the summer is set for Edmond on Saturday, June 13th. Registration kicks off at 11 a.m. and the tournament starts at high noon. Grab your crew, enjoy drink specials all event long, and compete for some awesome prizes for first, second, and third place. Don't miss the 2026 Summer Cornhole Tournament at Buffalo Wild Wings in Edmond, Saturday, June 13th, starting at 11 a.m.
Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Winning in business means having the right teammate. Stride Bank's commercial banking experts are here with treasury management, lending, and cash flow solutions designed to help your business score big. From local startups to established enterprises, we've got the tools and expertise you need. Visit stridebank.com. Stride Bank, member FDIC. Stride Bank on your team since 1913 with Oklahoma roots and nationwide reach.
After a car crash, life can be hard. You're hurt, stressed, and then, when you need help the most, the insurance company doesn't care.
They drag their feet, question your injuries, and make things difficult. They put profits over people.
At McIntyre Law, we level the playing field. We take on the billion-dollar insurance companies so you can focus on what matters, getting your life back. Call us at 405-777-7000. You deserve better.
Belmar Golf Club offers a whole new world of recreation and excitement. Our Junior Olympic-sized swimming pool offers a family-friendly atmosphere with poolside food and beverages perfect for all types of summer pool parties. In addition to the best golf course in Oklahoma, Belmar is also a great place to hold corporate and fundraising events, as well as magnificent and memorable wedding ceremonies. Call 405-364-0111 or stop by 1025 East Indian Hills Road and check out our first-class facilities and exceptional service.
I'm Gina Mitchell of Mitchell's Jewelry. Our wedding band event is June 3rd through June 6th. Alternative metals, gold bands, diamond bands, gemstone bands, over 1,000 bands in stock and on sale. These bands aren't just for weddings. They're perfect for an anniversary or birthday gift, or treat yourself and start your own stack. Discounts on wedding bands are only available during our wedding band events, so don't miss out. Visit our Instagram or website to secure your appointment. Mitchell's Jewelry in the heart of Norman at 2201 West Main Street.
It's that time of year to get to the ballpark, and that's something to smile about. Craig and Straight Orthodontics wants to help you and your family every step of the way to a beautiful smile. Craig and Straight has 3 conveniently located offices in Norman, Mustang, and South Oklahoma City. Check out their website at craigandstraight.com or give them a call to schedule your free consultation. You'll soon be on your way to a smile that you have always wanted. At Craig and Straight Orthodontics, we want to see you smile, Oklahoma.
Spring is here, a season of color, growth, and new beginnings. At Markham's Nursery, we have everything you need to make your spring truly special. From beautiful trees and hardy shrubs to vibrant perennials bursting with color. We have a huge selection of fruits and vegetables, roses and soils, everything you need to get your spring on the move. Helping generations grow in Oklahoma for over 50 years. Come grow something beautiful this spring. Markham's Nursery, just add the sun.
Markham's Nursery, just add the sun.
Around the world, Children International and friends like you are giving children in poverty a chance to thrive by helping ensure access to healthcare, nutrition, and educational opportunities and support on their path to employment. Because every child deserves a chance to realize their full potential. Learn more about Children International by going to children.org today.
How about this, Grayson Singleton? Jalen Brewster is reportedly taking an official visit to Texas this weekend.
Okay, so usually whenever you tell me something, I usually will take your word for it. You saying that you were so confident that Jalen Brewster stayed with that Texas Tech commitment, I've been like,
No, I think he's signing with Florida.
When did this come up?
How long ago did I say that? About
Okay,
Brewster
I
and
haven't
Tech?
asked you about this probably in about 3 weeks minimum. That's probably the last time I asked you about him.
Right now, I think he signs with Florida.
Not even LSU.
No.
Because he seemed like he had a good time at LSU.
Now, I may feel completely different 2 weeks from now based on how this thing is going, because Texas wasn't on anybody's radar with Jalen Brewster. And, this kind of tells you all you need to know about what's at play dynamically in this recruitment and what's dictating it all. Because, come on, man. Florida, LSU, now Texas, all while committed to Texas Tech. I don't know who's going to write the biggest check, man, but that's what it's going to come down to.
Okay, let me ask you this about Jalen Brewster. What do you know about the kid in terms of his motivations and work ethic?
Oh, man, the kid is awesome. Like, the type of dude that I would bet on.
Okay.
Not just because he's a 5-star, but, he's one of those dudes that's not just going to coast on his talent.
Okay.
He's got a great demeanor. He's incredibly talented. He works hard. There's a reason he's the number 1 prospect in the 2027 cycle, and there's a reason that however big the check gets from whatever school ultimately signs him, it's probably going to be worth it.
I'm glad you said it, because here's how I look at that. With a kid as physically gifted as he is, and all you got to do is look at the kid, number 1. If you get above competent coaching with that dude, and you combine it with his motivations and work ethic, that kid's going to be a first-round pick.
Yeah. Yeah, he will be.
Because of that, go take your bag wherever you get it. Because it seems as if, as long as the coaching staff is competent, this kid's going to attack it anyway. You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah, no doubt.
Because, so at that point, go take your bag, man. You don't know how long this thing is going to be. You could get hurt in 2 years. Go take your bag. Go sign with whoever is going to pay you the most money. Go take your bag. Continue to work hard, and then ride this thing out as long as you can. But you don't know how long it's going to be.
Outlaw Devil said, Jalen Brewster asking where the hoe's at? Yeah, he's not that type of kid. I don't think those are the questions he's asking as he navigates all these others.
Look, when the work is all said and done for the day, I'm pretty sure Jalen Brewster's not going to have an issue with that.
Mm-hmm. Colin Claremore asks, so why will they pay Kellen Hall boatloads of money but refuse to get in the Brewster sweepstakes? So, look.
It's a good question.
It is a really good question. The best way I can explain it is OU doesn't generally want to deal with kids whose decisions are going to be almost entirely dictated by money, or that they feel are going to be entirely dictated by money. Like, the reason that they're willing to go after Kellen Hall, the reason why they've recruited Kellen Hall as devotedly as they have to this point, is because they feel like money's not the end-all, be-all for that kid, and that's not the force that's driving the recruitment. And they're still going to have to pay a lot for that kid. There's no question. He's a premier prospect, and he is to the 2028 cycle what Jalen Brewster is to the 2027 cycle. By the way, I remarked this last year after Jalen Brewster came and camped at Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that kid's future holds developmentally, but I was more bullish on him at that age than I was on David Stone at that age.
Talking about Jalen Brewster.
Jalen Brewster.
Well, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you don't want that guy at Texas.
Yeah, he's going to be a wrecking ball. You want that kid anywhere but the University of Texas.
You think he's a day one Okay, starter may be a little bit much to put on him, but do you think he's a day one contributor?
I think in 3 years he is a top 10 draft pick.
Well, you and I agree on that.
Yeah. And certainly a day one guy. Certainly a guy that if he's not starting day one, he's playing a ton of snaps day one.
Mm-hmm.
Glenn from Nashville asks, Parker, I texted about this yesterday, and Grayson talked me off the ledge. But Lawler and Laga are both skinny. Do we have enough ribeye steaks in the budget to fatten those guys up to SEC-size linemen? Well, I mean, for one thing, Glenn, if Grayson talked you off the ledge yesterday, then what am I here for? Do I really need to answer that question? I mean, if we got everything settled, then we're good here, right? But, yes, there are enough ribeye steaks in the budget to fatten those guys up. And I would always rather have an underweight offensive lineman than an overweight offensive lineman.
100%.
There's a lot of bodily transformation that can and does happen when you get on campus and you start eating like D1 athletes eat at the University of Oklahoma, and you start working out like D1 athletes work out at the University of Oklahoma. Don't worry about that at all.
As much as you're around the program, have you ever thought about, just for content, going through a day in the life of a workout for an OU football player?
I have thought about it. I think I might die. I think Schmitty might kill me. I don't want any part of that.
I think I might have ran afoul with Joe Bob in Louisiana, because he says, to the question of somebody asking why would you have to talk Glenn off the ledge if I already did, one-star Joe Bob from Louisiana says, because Grayson is suspect.
Oh, this is such a fantastic text. Brandon Bixby says, you should name their training table the Devon Mitchell training table so you guys stop getting the weight questions from prospects. That would be one way to do it. Like, hey, you're worried about Corey Laga's weight? Just wait till he sits down at the Devon Mitchell training table. Gosh.
Jeez.
His name is never going anywhere in the OU market.
Goodness, man.
Not for probably the reasons he would have imagined, but Devon Mitchell has his place in Sooner lore. Sooner 287 asks, wide receiver update? Did they go after Daniel Yebbett or continue to go after Quentin Hale? I think there's a non-zero chance that Daniel Yebbett does wind up at Oklahoma in the end. But he doesn't have an offer right now. And I'm not like imminently expecting him to get an offer either. But in a world where Bryce Williams goes to Nebraska, which I think will happen, and in a world where Brandon Sherrard goes to LSU, which is very possible, and Trenton Blaylock chooses Vanderbilt or Texas over Oklahoma, which is also very possible, to me, at that point, who better for that fourth cornerback spot than the number 4 prospect in the Sooner State right now, and the highest-ranked prospect within state lines that Oklahoma has yet to offer. So I don't think they're going to go after Yebbett at wide receiver. They're no longer involved with Quentin Hale. Like, Oklahoma's just kind of sitting pretty. They're standing pat right now at wide receiver. They have Graydon Howell committed. They have Trayvon Hall committed. They have Damari DeJean committed. DeJean and Hall, yeah, they've been flirting with other schools.
Isn't DeJean taking a Cal OV?
Yes, he is. But both of those guys are OV in Oklahoma June 12th through the 14th. And look, I can't make any promises. It's not my place. I'm just the messenger here. But what I will say is that internally, Oklahoma's level of worry about DeJean and or Hall signing with another school is darn near zero right now.
Oh, there you go.
Like, they are entirely unworried about it. And if that wasn't true, what you would probably see this week is a lot more 2027 wide receivers camping at OU.
Yeah.
Because they would have made it a priority to bring some guys in.
Yeah.
And get looks at them.
Outlaw Devil, let's get this our last one. What's the status on Gideon Gash?
Yeah, OV in that same weekend, June 12th through the 14th. As of right now, he's one of, it's not more than like 4 or 5 uncommitted official visitors. It's Gash, it's Trenton Blaylock, it's Case Alexander, and man, that might be it. But the vibes are pretty solid right now with Gideon Gash. They think they're in a good spot. They think they'll be in a better spot after the OV. And that's a guy that is a take all the way. Like, there's never going to be a question as to whether he's a priority for Oklahoma to land the rest of the way. Like, they want that guy in the class very badly. After getting Gabe Osborne committed, the 2 guys at the top of the wish list are Bodie Sparrow and Gideon Gash.
Is Texas Tech a real threat with Gideon Gash?
they're a realer threat than they were 6-8 weeks ago. Would I say they're Oklahoma's primary competition right now? I'd still say probably not.
Okay.
I'm still keeping an eye on Alabama and lately LSU, and you just never can discount Michigan State because of the brother connection there. 2 older brothers in East Lansing. All right, folks. That is all for this fine Thursday installment of Locked In. Grayson will be back with you tomorrow in this slot.
No, I won't.
will not. Wait, you won't either?
Nope, I'm on
Who
vacation.
the heck is doing Locked In?
I don't know.
We will
Good question.
all find out together.
I'm not
tomorrow.
back here till Wednesday.
Oh, wow.
I'm on vacation.
I might be doing Locked In solo come Monday. Regardless, folks, this show, whoever is hosting it, will be back again tomorrow, same time, same place, right here on The Ref, the home of Sooner fans. Take it easy.